Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Vertiverse Podcast, where we go behind the scenes with all your favorite vertical stars and talk about everything from wild on-set stories to the personal lives of the actors who bring these stories to life. I'm your host, Rocio, and today I have two incredible guests who are about to star in their upcoming series that will be coming soon on Dramapop. Everybody please welcome Kelsey Maskell and Guilmette.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Rosie, I'm so happy to be here with you.
I am so excited to have you guys here. It is our second episode. So very fresh, very new, very exciting.
Number two.
Well,
Number two.
nothing wrong with being number 2 on the call sheet.
Yeah, Aaron.
It's in my contract.
Feels good to be number 1.
Yeah. I would love to get to know you guys a little bit. Just like tell me about yourself. Who are you guys when you're not on set, when you're not playing Ethan, Mia, and all those crazy roles?
Yeah, my name's Guilmette. I've done, I guess we're going to talk about verticals. I've done 25 verticals so far. I produce verticals as well. I have a series called Love and Blood that I produced that's coming mid-2025, which I'm very excited about.
That's so exciting.
Love and Blood. And
so cool.
Originally from Massachusetts. Who am I outside of that?
Who knows?
I don't know. Do we have lives outside of the vertical world? Or is
should.
Oh, yeah, I should.
It's called work-life balance.
Yes.
Just say something really cool. No one's going to fact
Yeah,
check
just make
you.
it up. Just make it up.
Okay, I've been to 40 countries so far.
With verticals or just
He
on
used
your
to
own?
backpack through the wilderness before pre-verticals.
Yeah, so, wait, what was the story that Joey tells in Friends when, do you know Friends?
Yeah.
Do you know
But
Friends?
I never
Laura?
watched it.
What?
I'm
Do
the
you know
only
Friends?
person in the world that's not watched
I haven't seen Friends.
Oh my god.
No.
Okay,
I love
well,
everyone always
all of
judges
you that
me.
are watching,
Sorry.
you will know what I'm talking about. There is an episode in Friends where like Joey talks about how he picks up girls and he tells this story about when he's backpacking and all this stuff. And anyways, I can't even give the reference now. There's no point. You all know.
No, I heard all about his adventures. We just spent a month together in Turkey, and
Yeah.
so Eric is like a relative now.
We're homies.
We spent every meal, every waking hour together for like a month.
Yeah.
So I heard all about his travels.
Bridgie.
He saved me from ongoing traffic multiple times.
I was her bodyguard.
What other? Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, actually, I'm Kelsey's full-time bodyguard.
Yeah, honestly, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, the dangers of men overseas. Eric was there to just make sure. I
Just
wasn't
as long as I was standing there, it was fine.
I was at
the
Taken
time-
2,
She
you
would
know?
tell me about things she would do, and I'm like, Kelsey, like no.
kidnapped. He's like Taken 2.
Yeah.
We were in
I'm
his
like, take a
symbols.
knife with you or something. Okay, introduce yourself.
I'm Kelsey Maskell. Are we okay? We're saying number of verticals. I've done like 34.
Wild.
So
Name every single one of them.
I know. Okay, from the top. No, side note, Rosie, like, who knew we would go from filming Assassin's Apprentice like nearly a year ago to on this show?
And I still have your shoes.
She has my heels.
And I left my apartment this morning and I was like, oh my God, I forgot her shoes.
fine.
No.
Once again, for context, Kelsey and I worked on one almost a year ago.
Yeah. Which she
And-
gave me the best wardrobe. I was an assassin in
Assassin's Apprentice.
that Colt Gaia like leather
It was-
bodysuit. I
it was
still dream
really
about.
cool. It
Anyways,
was really cool. It was a lot of fun. But I accidentally took home her shoes that she brought for her wardrobe, and she still has not gotten them back.
This is why it's now in my contract where I don't bring my wardrobe.
Yes, but also
That's
it's hard.
so valid.
It's hard to remember. I have like, do you know Shay Deneen?
Yeah.
I have his shoes in my car. I have like Kiki's shorts.
It's so hard.
Kelsey has one of my, or not Kelsey, Ashley has one of my sweatshirts, and like just, you know, all these things that we just carry
If you bring
around.
it to set, you lose it. That's pretty much
Don't
it.
bring your personals to
I
Valorant.
accidentally took your co-star on that one. I took his like Louis Vuitton jeans.
Aiden?
You got some LV jeans. Wow.
Yeah, and I texted him. I was like, "Hey, I think I have one of your pairs of jeans or something." And he was like, "Oh, did I like leave something with you?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." I sent him a picture. He was like, "Oh, those are my Louis Vuittons."
You're like, oh.
I was like, "Oh." Okay.
Didn't even know Louis Vuitton made jeans.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway.
first world problems. Anyways,
Any hoozles?
I'm from South Dakota. A lot of people, when I tell them that, they're like, "You're the first person I've met from South Dakota." Is that true for you?
No, but you're the
Andrew
first.
says yes. Producer Andrew says yes.
Yes.
Amazing.
I think you're one of the top 5 that I've met from South Dakota.
I would hope I'm
You're
top
you're
5.
my top 5.
Oh my god. He's in the MySpace days.
Yeah.
We'll tell you about MySpace
Oh my
later.
God,
Rosie.
MySpace.
It was there.
Can we go down that rabbit hole?
No.
Can we tell Gen Z what they missed out on?
Exactly. But now outside of acting, I live on everyone knows this. I live on a horse ranch in Topanga,
Well, not
and it's like
everybody.
my
Tell
whole
us.
life.
No, it's so cool. I love seeing pictures.
It's so nice. It's nice because I get to like be in LA technically, and I go there to work and stuff. But when I'm not on set, I like pretty much never leave the canyon. So people are like, "What are you even doing?" I'm like,
Horse life.
"I just stay on the ranch." Sounds like I'm in a cult, but I'm not. I just enjoy.
It's a cool cult.
It's a cool cult,
Yeah.
It's
a
like not
trendy one.
culty, but it's interesting.
No.
Yeah.
It's so
So
great.
cool.
It's beautiful. It keeps you balanced. I think, especially as an actor, you're doing like long days on set, and it's a lot. And so when you're able to just unplug fully from the city and the energy of the city and like the hustle, I feel like for me, just mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it keeps me balanced.
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance.
exactly.
Eric, take a page out of my book.
Some of us are still working on that.
I'll teach you my ways.
Awesome. So you both have your own unique journeys into acting. Just tell me a little bit about that, and like, how did you know that acting is what you wanted to do?
It was so funny. Since I was a little girl, I've known. I feel like that's a lot of people's stories. It's like when they're little, they kind of have that dream. Mine, weirdly, I remember I was watching The Parent Trap, and I think I was like 5 or 4. But I was
the
like,
best
Great
movie
movie.
of all time.
You can do the handshake, right?
I mean,
Do
yeah.
the handshake?
There's
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
There's so much. But how do you watch that movie and not want to be an actor? I mean, come on. No.
Yeah.
So that, and then I just grew up, and then I grew up doing dance and musical theater and stuff. And Phantom of the Opera was like my whole identity as like
Also one of the greatest movies of all
I
time.
swear I watched that like 30 times. So I kind of grew into that. But then I actually ended up going into high fashion modeling. So in my like late teens, early 20s. And I was like, I'll use that to get into acting. But as anyone that's modeled knows, it takes over your life. So I spent time in New York and Milan and Paris doing that. And then I kind of just realized, no, I don't want to do this. I like food too much. And so I was like, let me just go to my first love film, finally like take the plunge. And it took me some years to make the transition to LA. I spent some time in Nashville doing acting school there and all that. But yeah, then I made it out here, and the verticals popped up, and it like took off super quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly really grateful for the experience and everyone I'm meeting in this world, in the Vertiverse.
In the Vertiverse.
I feel like we're so lucky. Like,
Such a brilliant name.
it really is. So anyway, that's kind of my short and sweet story. Not really short, but anyway.
But yeah, we are so lucky.
We are really lucky.
There's some really cool people in the space. So
yeah,
like
definitely.
that's what makes the space so cool is the people. And I think that you vibe with everyone that like you find your people as you go through.
Yeah.
But yeah, similarly, same story. I watched Parent Trap as a kid, and no, no, I had a very different way of getting to here. I went to school for mathematics and economics, and was supposed to kind of work in finance on Wall Street and stuff, and then just kind of went the other way with my life. Then I was backpacking through the woods for years. Actually, no, I was backpacking through like Australia and Southeast Asia, and then I ended up here about 5.5 years ago. Started modeling as soon as I got here, similar to Kelsey, and found success in that. I still have like a love for parts of modeling. Some of it is a little just you're getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
But then I started taking acting classes during the pandemic. I was god awful at first. Like I was miserable as an actor. Like I was trying to model and act at the same time, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
I think I can like picture.
You know what I mean?
So life, right?
Yeah. It was bad. But anyways, I worked really hard on it, and then did a few indie features. I actually have met a lot of people from this space before the space like came to be. Like Luke Charles Stafford, who's in this space. He's a big actor here. I did a indie feature with him. Christine Larson, her and I did an indie feature together.
That's awesome.
Felix Merriback, him and I did a pilot together. So yeah, Fabian Arnold, same thing. So anyways, and then found Verticals, and holy shit, it's been a hell of a ride.
It's been
And
crazy.
this has now become not just the day-to-day, but just like the long-term plan as well, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's also mention how you are so perfect for VertCore because you are the book cover model.
Oh, yeah.
What do you call that guy from the 90s?
Fabio.
He's our day's Fabio. He posed for those novels, the romance.
That's so.
That's what I'm known
hilarious.
for. Like in pre-verts.
I love it.
Oh my
what's funny is
God.
that my dentist sent me a picture the other day, and he was with Fabio, and sent me a picture and was like, "Hey, I'm with," like was like doing like an intro photo for us, and
So funny.
anyway.
I love it.
So hilarious.
Anyways,
so
yeah,
he's
that-
seamlessly like obviously
Yeah.
being
It's
vertical.
definitely like if you were on that, like going into verticals is such a seamless move, you know. But
The girls already know you, right? They're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
it's literally the same viewer base. It's
No.
like the
Yeah.
readers are the viewers, the viewers are the readers. So yeah, it
Yeah.
worked out perfect.
What makes verticals unique and different from other projects? Because I know you've done like features and both have done modeling. Like, how are verticals different from that? I know like they can be crazy with the like fast pace and the speed and just like it's just like seems like such a different world, but it's still kind of acting and modeling. But like, what makes them unique?
Yeah.
I'll tackle it first, and then you can jump in. I think every vertical itself is a different experience. Like project to project, there's such drastic differences that the space still doesn't have like it does have a format and a formula, but it doesn't feel formulaic at this point. It feels like, because some of these you'll be doing 20 pages a day, and you're like literally
we
one of the
just
ones
did
that
that
we
one.
did, and like it feels like you're like running through and you're like, did I even say the words on the page? Like
Yeah.
it feels like a fever dream by the time you wrap.
Yeah.
And then other ones, you'll do like some that are like 7 pages a day, and like you're getting really strong.
That's a luxury. I haven't done
performances.
7 pages a day
Oh,
yet.
sorry, I'm just speaking for myself.
Wow. Okay. Where do you do those?
Anyone
Call
else in
me.
the vertical space that's doing 7 pages a day, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you really get to like dive into it, and but it is as professional as a feature film. Like every crew member is vital. Honestly, even more in a vertical sometimes. You need every crew member, otherwise there's no chance you're getting through that day.
Yeah.
And you need that efficiency. So verticals are definitely built on efficiency and everything. And we're still fine tuning the kinks, if you will.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest things is the pacing and the amount of time that you have with the material. When you do a feature, or if you get like a series regular or something, like I do feel like there's a luxury in having the script for more than a few days, before the
yeah.
project starts.
I feel similarly.
Yeah, 100% for prep for wardrobe, it would be insane. So yeah, I think having so much of my acting career so far be in verticals, I think about when I step out into other spaces, I'm like, that was such a luxury, or it will be such more of a luxury when you get to have more time, more takes. I think we
Yeah.
average like 2 takes per shot. If that, sometimes it's one.
Sometimes maybe, yeah.
We had-
Sometimes at roll rehearsal, and they're like, that was good. It's like, was it?
we have a moment in the one that we're coming up for. Eric's in a coma. Sorry.
Eric's a vegetable.
And like, to me personally, I was like, okay, this scene is such a huge moment for the show, and I hope that we'll be able to like take some time with this. They'll give me at least a few takes, because it's emotionally, for me, my character, it's something that like she goes through. She's like, obviously she's over his hospital bed, but then she kind of makes a joke, and then she kind of goes in and tries to kiss him back to life. Can I say this? Is this a spoiler?
Yeah, you can give away some
Spoiler
spoilers.
alert.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we got to the point in the day where those were like 5 different scenes, and they came up to me and they're like, we're going to shoot all 5 of these together. We've run out of time. And I'm like, wait, what? This is one of the biggest moments of the whole show.
Yeah.
And they're like, we have to, just for like time's sake. And then like, of course, like the client was there, the producer was there on monitor. I was like, cool. And I think I literally had 1 take.
Yeah.
And for the whole,
the whole thing?
how many pages? It was probably a few pages.
It was probably like 6 or 7 pages.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they were just like, run it through, and I was done, and I was like, I got through it, but then they were like, all right, moving on, and I was
my
like,
God.
wait, but this could have been so good. Like I was so, there's moments like that where you get disappointed, and you think, oh, as an actor, it's hard that kind of pacing is what is shown all the time in this
Yeah.
space, and so we don't necessarily get to like show the fullness of us as actors, because it is so quick and we're just rushing through stuff. But sometimes it works in your favor. Sometimes improv is the best. Sometimes your first take, you're like, cool, that was like as organic as it can be, and it
Yeah.
worked out. But
I mean, sometimes when you like even think of a line, because you're trying to think of the lines
Yeah.
and you forget it, it kind of actually helps like to like lean into it and like let your character sit in that stillness and then come up with something. Obviously if it throws the whole scene off, it's not going to work. But I found that that's a thing too. But I did, there was a show I did for I won't say the platform. I did a show middle of last year, and we were shooting this way, and there's like 10 people on this side of the camera facing me, and I'm the only person on this side. And we shot a 17-page scene, not exaggerating, 22-minute runtime. we got this side, and then we flipped my way, 2 takes my side, and move on. 17
Wow.
pages. And it was one of those things I was like, this is
Those
That's
14-page,
crazy.
17-page scenes are just, they are insane.
Yeah.
And so I think, but
Insane.
one thing that I'm grateful about with us as these like vertical soap actors is like, I do believe we have this training ground that no one gets unless they're on like General Hospital or something,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
they're used to shooting 20 pages a day every day. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And the level of like, I've realized recently, I was working with a guy who, on my recent project in Canada, he'd done like 6 or so. And I realized, I was like, wow, I'm like, your brain is such a muscle, where I'm now at a place where like, not that I suggest this, but if you have to, like if you get thrown a lot of material and they're like, actually, this is going to shoot tomorrow, can you come? Like, my brain's at a point where I can like look at a 4-page scene and shoot it right
Yeah.
away. And like remember the dialogue.
It's definitely
which
a
is
like
crazy.
unique skill. So I think you
It's
guys
just like
are gonna
muscle
have.
memory, you know? It's like
a
practicing that.
It's a superpower
Yeah.
for sure. Like
Yeah.
I literally think that ability is so unique,
Yeah.
and like you need to have that to be able to survive in this space.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's so much memorization.
It's so much for
Crazy.
you guys.
But then also like, but then get there emotionally. But then also like make sure you look pretty. Like, can you
And take your
cry
shirt
prettier?
off.
Yeah. And I'm like crying, giving everything. Like, the client wants to know if you can like look prettier while you're crying. I'm like, I'm trying my face. This is just my face. So it's funny. We have a lot of the stuff we have to work
yeah,
with
no,
actors,
I'm
but-
definitely like in all of you guys, just like watching from behind the camera. Like I definitely could not do that. So it's very, very impressive.
No, but you might just look amazing, Rosie. So we couldn't do it without you.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I said. Every part of the crew is vital. Like the
100%,
wardrobe
yeah.
stylist to be able to go through. Like the last
Oh,
one I just did, there was
insane.
21 characters. Our wardrobe stylist we had the Kira's character had like 30 something looks, and
Yeah.
I had like
Wow.
28 looks. Like organizing all of that and keeping it in check so we can move efficiently. That's nuts, especially to do all by yourself.
Yeah.
Insane.
It's,
I'm
you know?
it's
amazed by
crazy.
it.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Let's talk about your new show that's coming out on Dramapop. What's the inside scoop and like what can you tell us about it? Like give us a little log line maybe.
Football.
Oh my gosh. Eric's gonna remember. I'm probably blasting Andrew's ears. So sorry. It just gives me the thumbs up. Sorry. Andrew's gonna remember one thing. He's like, football. It's so funny. This is man and woman right now. So after you watch the show, this is such a typical, like, because my brain thought of one word and his brain thought of one word. So once you watch the show, you'll get it. But my brain thought Cinderella. His brain thought football. And you'll understand when you watch the show.
That's
Actually,
so
yeah.
I read like a little bit of a breakdown and I was like, football, I wonder where
So the moments of like where I'm wearing a shirt or whatever, it's actually a football jersey. And that was your idea, wasn't it? Or was that?
It was my idea, yeah.
Anything that we took the football theme that was tiny and just he kind of ran with it, which was fun.
And it worked perfectly.
And it worked perfectly. We have a lot of tackles in the show.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
If you give a sports fan who's a guy like a chance to like go off, like, and you know, we have 2 people that are comfortable as actors to be able to be like, hey, we have a little bit of room for improvisation. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah.
I'm like, sports, let's go.
Yeah,
You know,
there's like a scene where I think we didn't know it was like a little bit of intimacy, and we didn't know exactly how we were gonna block it. And I remember we were like in the trailer talking about it with Cho and Hakan, and we were like, what should we do? And then we realized we were gonna do the football jersey thing, and Eric was like, no. I got this. I'm gonna block this whole scene. And it was fun because at this point we'd already shot your guys' project, so we'd already been together for like a few weeks. So Eric and I were super comfortable with each other and able to just do fun things. And there's a part where he just literally
Tackle you?
it was so fun because he's a strong dude and I'm like, I'm tall, you know. So but he just is like tackles me, picks me up and throws me on the bed. It was just so funny. And a lot of like,
we're filming the TikTok or whatever, and with the strong whatever.
have you
it
seen
is.
that TikTok challenge with like the Sabrina Carpenter sound where she's like, a boy who's jacked and kind, and like they lift him up? So we did that.
have. You see, I'm actually off TikTok. I've been
good.
off of it
I'm
for a
not
while.
on it,
but
but-
it's like seeped into my Instagram reels.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, she had the idea. She's like, we need to do this thing and like pick me up. And I was like, okay. And I picked her up and she's like, I was like, what? And
was like, how did you do
I'm
that?
tall. I was like, okay.
He literally with one arm just like chucks me up onto his shoulder, and I'm like, whoa! I haven't done this since I was cheerleading in high school.
I'm like, I'm a vertical actor. Of course I can pick you up.
Of course, I have to lift 14 times a day.
Yeah.
We get back to the hotel after shooting for 13 hours.
Oh,
and
God.
Eric's in the gym. Grace
Yep.
and I are ordering room service, and Eric's in the gym.
Eric's starving himself
Yeah,
in the gym.
no, literally, he's like, I don't do dinner. I'm like, oh, could never be me.
Have you guys ever worked with Casey Esser?
Yes.
Because he brings like his bowl of like chicken and
Yes,
rice
every day.
every single day.
Every day.
That's all he like sits in a corner and eats his like plain chicken.
I've never worked with him, but I've heard he's like very regimented.
And I get it because it's like I've noticed even as a female, like when I'm like working on set constantly, we just have catering every day, and it's just like it'll be takeout food, you know.
Crap, and then you're like, oh, I wonder why I feel like shit in the middle of the day.
Why do I look so bloated?
Yeah.
No, I worked with this one company and I did a 10-day shoot with them, 1 day off, then an 8-day shoot. And I swear they got noodles for lunch every
day.
single day. And I was like, guys, like, I don't want to be difficult, but I'm literally going to die, I think, if you don't give me like some sort of protein.
Something else. Yes, totally.
Any nutrients? No nutrients.
It's just noodles.
That is one thing that we need to probably focus on.
Yeah, we do the best we can.
Anyway.
Tell us about your time in Turkey, because that's so cool. You guys got to like travel and like not film in the US. Like how is it different? How is spending all that time with everyone like in the same hotel, in the same trailers?
It's like the three of us.
Yeah, we just had a throuple. Like it was literally just you, me, and Grace.
Yeah, and the supporting cast were mostly flown in from London and like Poland. No, where was the other? Where was Portugal? I don't know. Anyway, something European countries. And so from the US, from LA, it was just the three of us, and we just like switched around, and it was so much fun because we're all three really close. I feel like, and so they were so nice to us of giving us days off to explore, and we would have like a driver and a tour guide take us around. So they were so generous with us. It was an incredible experience, honestly. Like production level over there was amazing, and probably one of my favorite shoots besides Puppy Love, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
To date.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of nailed it. It's like getting to experience that, you know, because like half of your experience is based on your co-star. Like
totally.
The person that you are spending every waking moment with on a vertical is going to dictate your time. And so yeah, the three of us just had such a good time, and it was one of my favorite projects too. I mean, I obviously some of the memories will become blurry of like what we actually did while we were there,
Totally.
but like you remember the feeling of like how good it felt and how like excited we were and happy, and just like, you know, that travel bug also hits you because we get to go everywhere, we get to experience everything. Like we went to that dinner that you started dancing at. It was awesome.
I got pulled up by this performer, dude, and then you and Grace are just filming me. I'm like, it's like all these people.
Me and Grace are just downing wine, and you're just up there dancing. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll save that for the BTS.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it was, and even just like, because when you're on location, you're spending 24 hours together instead of like, you know, 12, and meeting at breakfast every morning with like our eye patches on.
Patches.
And just like, 5
Just
a.m.
like, so do you know your lines yet? No.
Take the shuttle and we're just going over it. It was so much fun. Yeah, so it was a great 10 out of 10.
It seemed amazing. The pictures looked amazing. I'm so jealous.
It
One
was
day
awesome.
go, Rosie out.
One day.
Yeah, Depot Films was the one who ran it. So it's Dramapop's and Depot Films is our production
Is it
company.
Depot or Depot?
Depot, whatever. DEPO. And
Is it LOL or LOL?
They were phenomenal. Yeah, it's. I say LOL. Does that make me old?
LOL. Yes. No, I don't know. Oh my
God,
God.
is it actually? Let's put this as a question for the viewers.
Okay.
Is it LOL or LOL?
Right. Rosie would be who'd ask.
Wow. I feel like I say lol. You do? I do.
Yes.
I'm wrong.
No.
Okay, Andrew's giving me the look.
See, it's 50. We're divided. We're split. It's okay.
Okay. We'll find out from the viewers.
I can't even say LOL. I have like a I mumble my words, so it
Don't
sounds
worry,
like I'm saying wall.
the Guilmette fandom will be on this.
Yes.
I love you, Guilmette fandom.
They're gonna be on top of this poll.
They sort of adopted me in Turkey, I feel like.
They did.
They did?
They love you.
Heck yeah.
Honestly, all
love
the
you guys.
fans, everyone says so many great things about you and Grace. It's like everyone's loved our first show that we did, and I think they'll really love our next show too.
Bridgie, should you tell the little story
Bridgie.
of our
Bridget.
So I have this problem when I was doing a lot of villains. I found this would happen often with my male co-star, specifically you and Jackson Tiller. Like, cannot
Jackson?
do a scene. He cannot do a scene with me. He
we
will
just
laugh
break.
the entire time. And so same with you. Like we did our first. It would have been our first scene together in Turkey.
Yeah.
The one where you were proposing to me.
Yeah.
And
We can give it away now because it is out. So
Yeah,
like we can.
well.
So spoiler alert. So there's this scene. Her dad is trying to like get me to marry her, and I don't want to marry her. No offense, I love you, but I'm not. It's my
Rude.
it was my character. And anyways, her character's name was Bridget, and my character's name was Luke or Lucas. And oh my god, the scene where you call me Wookie baby.
Wookie baby, I'm sorry, Wookie baby.
It's so fucking funny. Like if you watch What Happens in Vegas, you will laugh. But there's a scene that I had to propose to her, and like her dad is like propose now, and he puts a ring on the thing or whatever, and I grab it, and then I turn to her, and she's just sitting there with this look on her face where she's just like, and she would literally eek and like make a do the eek. Yeah, and I have to sit there and like actually look like I'm proposing. I couldn't even.
We tried it like 6 or 7 times, and he would laugh every time. So I'm like, they're gonna have to just cut around this.
Yeah, so I just couldn't get through it. I was like, I'm just gonna look down when it's her coverage.
But it's so hard because you want to kind of just go crazy on these villains, but like, because they're so funny and ridiculous. And same with Jackson. Like, I'll try and do a scene with him. He's another. I don't know. I'm sure you know Jackson Tiller. He's one of the main guys. Yeah. I'll try to just start my delivery, and he's just busting, and I'm like, Jackson, I have to also do the scene. You gotta not laugh for like 1 second, but it's really funny.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyways, and her character's name was Bridget, so I call her Bridgie.
Bridgie. So he still calls me Bridgie.
Yeah.
No matter what my character name is, he's like,
It's
Bridgie. Bridgie forever. Bridgie.
Mookie baby.
I love it.
Do you prefer playing villains, or because I know you kind of had your fair share at both? What's more fun for you?
Gosh, it's so hard. I think I went through a time of doing a lot of villains, and so I feel like I got that out of my system. And so it's fun now to do other characters that are more layered and not just like psycho. I have a soft spot for both. They're both fun in their own way. But I've been grateful that I know that a lot of the tropes in the vertical space are kind of that beaten down woman who's kind of just, I just did one where you're getting like saved 80 pages and dragged and tied up and thrown around. It's hard. Like it's exhausting. I'm like, man, I've been tied up in this chair for like 4 days. But yeah, I've been grateful with my non-villain roles, my leads. I have gotten to do a lot of fun ones that are different, like the assassin or like the political activist advisor. That's not the right word.
Political drama.
Political drama. A lot of fun, like different types of roles. So I've really enjoyed the protagonists for that reason. That I feel like they've been kind of like different, and so that's been fun for me.
Awesome. How about you? Have you played villains before?
Oh, I love playing villain. It's definitely one of my favorite things.
He's never played a villain.
Don't give away my secrets. I had one character that was like not a prototypical protagonist, and like he like had like darkness in him, and it was actually really fun to play because it was just and like it does. You get to be a little psycho, but you also get to actually have emotions. Usually, as the hero, stoic. Cold man, this is your acting.
I'm the CEO. Here's my black card.
Yeah, it's just that's all it is. And like so, like there, and obviously you find those nuances with each character. But I did enjoy that, and some of the stuff that I'm producing later this year is more villainous, more layered, a little darker.
We love to see it. Yeah. It's fun, honestly. I told that to Grace, did her villain role in Turkey, and she was like, "Wow, they're so fun." I'm like, "They really are." If you're used to doing, if you're used to doing protagonists, which you're kind of limited in a lot of the scenes, you're kind of just responding to what's going on in the scene. You do a villain, and you can just like. You take that thing and you can run with it. It's really fun.
When she walked in, she's like, I still remember from the blooper reel. She's like, hey, fuckers, and then like turns the camera. Like,
that was Grace's version of the villain. She just would say the F word 4 times.
Oh my God, yeah. There's the when she just starts flipping everyone off at the end.
That was her go-to. It was so funny. Yeah. I know. I'm so curious what that show's gonna look like because I think my character the whole time was like. It was just so funny to see us flipped. Like it was. I've dragged Grace for so many shows. Like I think we've done like 6 shows together, Grace and I. And I'm usually like antagonist, but so it was fun to role reverse.
So your characters, Ethan and Mia, they share kind of like an enemies to lovers type trope in your upcoming series. I want to know if you guys have your own like enemies to lovers story that you want to share.
Me and Eric, we were enemies. So trust me, day one, werewolf alpha. I was like, "Who's this diva?"
No, actually, you want to hear the diva story?
No, yeah, diva story.
All right, so this is funny. So I had an event on. I remember it was on the 18th of November. The fact that I remember this is ridiculous, and I don't remember like memories. But I had an event on the night of the 18th, and I had already committed to. And then our call times for the 19th for our project went out, and there was like it was gonna be like 8 a.m. or something like that.
No. I should tell the story.
Yeah.
So I get cast in this, and then production emails me, and they're like, "Okay," or they send the call sheet, and like literally, it was in Arcadia, which
it was Arcadia,
as a Topanga girly, like die.
That's rough for me.
Die. 5 days in a row in Arcadia, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" So I would have had to leave my house at 5 a.m. No, 4. Because the call time was early. It was like 6
or 7. Yeah.
No, it would have had to been 6. Yeah, because 6 anyway. So I had to leave my house at like 4:30 or something. And I was like, what? But the call sheet was like this. Kelsey, her little number there, for an 1/8 of a page scene. And then not again until after lunch. And I was like, why? And then Eric rolls in at 8 or 9 a.m. And I just had to I literally emailed production. I was like, can we move that scene like later in the day? I don't have anything till after lunch. Like, why am I there at 4? And they're like, oh, our lead can't come in the morning. So yes, I was like, oh, this Eric guy, I've heard about him. Mm-hmm. Hadn't really met him besides Vert's doing. Anyway, so then he gets there. Oh, and not only that, do I hear that he gets to come in at 8. He also got a hotel room. When he lives in Long Beach. And I'm like, oh my gosh, who's this diva? And so instantly I was just pissed.
But
I
I wasn't even trying to be a diva. It was just something that they did for me that was nice.
They volunteered.
It was just hilarious. And then I walked in, Kelsey spit in my face and was like, you're my reason for my drama. But yeah.
But then he won me over with his charming personality.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I have to be nice to her now.
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah, so there was a bit of a trauma bond at the beginning.
Yeah. So I guess that's our enemies.
But real life, do you have enemies to lovers? I think that's what you're asking, right?
I think this is the closest that I've ever gotten. Yeah. it's either lovers to lovers or it's just enemies. I don't know.
I know.
I've had lovers to enemies. That's
pretty standard. I think that's pretty me too.
Yeah. But I usually have whatever. That's good enough.
PR.
So everybody knows that with these long hours on set, you guys get very close with your co-stars, close with the crew and everybody. I just want to know, has that ever translated into something more? Something offset?
Tell them, Kelsey.
Not with you two necessarily, but just like in general.
No, not with us, Aaron.
Yeah, for the most part, no. That's one of the main things too, is I think everyone, like all the fandom, like I love the fans, speculate. But they love to speculate. And honestly, it's kind of funny to see like who they like speculate with and who they don't. So overall, like for the most part, it's always just like usually professional and keep it professional. Mm-hmm. But that's what I'll say on it.
Yeah, I think this space has also like evolved. Like I feel like when they first started, they were, in my personal experience, I noticed people I was working with weren't as professional when these first, but now, like, I think the actors in the city have just gotten so used to the craziness of it and the pace and what's going on in topics. Yeah. And so it's like, it's very, I think that's what people don't realize is like, yeah, you create chemistry as your job, but it's so, like you're so detached from it. Yeah, it's not, you just, especially you're going project to project. I can't.
We literally go, and that's why it's like we have lives outside of this as much as I joke about it.
Which is why it's so nice because you keep a really solid life outside of this space. And then what happens on set is just like, it doesn't really affect you, you know, which is really nice. And I think that comes from a certain amount of times of doing it. I think early actors will fall into that temptation because they're not used to that. They're not used to like building chemistry with another human as in a professional setting as a job. Don't you agree?
100%.
I feel like early actors will fall into that trap of being like, oh, I have feelings for this person, when really it's not. It's just, this is what happens when you're filming a scene and you whatever, but then afterwards it's just like turns off, like it was nothing.
Well, even actors who aren't used to making like intimacy scenes. Like I was talking with an actor who's a well-trained, phenomenal actor a couple weeks ago, and he was like, so he pretty much asked me the same question. He's like, how do you like pull it together? Because like he was on our set and he was watching and he was like, it seems like you like can kind of like, you guys can go through and then you high five after, you know, and that's the thing is like, it's sexy, but it's also not sexy. If that makes sense. And so I really think it does take that professional mindset to kind of go through, especially when you have some of these scripts that have 20 intimate scenes.
And you have like, you know, a bunch of people in the room and there's a camera in your face and it's choreographed. And I think that's what people don't realize is too with the verticals, they're getting so much better about having an intimacy coordinator on each one. Yeah. And they really take you through. It's like a dance, you know? And so everything, so in your mind, yeah, you might be kissing somebody, but like you're thinking about, okay, next Eric has to put his hand here and then I've got to put my hand here and then we've got to move here. And it's just like, you're constantly thinking about the scene. Mm-hmm. And so you're not like lost in this intimate moment, you know, it's very like structured. Which is great.
Yeah.
While at the same time, you still need to look like you're there. You know, it's like
you still need to play it like it's but
I feel like it's sexy in the like 9:16 frame, and then you like see the outside.
Exactly. And you're like, this is awkward.
If you took like this camera and then went like this, and you saw what else is going on in the room, you'd be like, oh.
Right. Literally.
So speaking of like fan speculation, do you guys have any like funny fan stories or like fan theories, or like I know you guys both have pretty like big fan followings and edits and whatnot.
Yeah, so I love it. The edits are my favorite. But I also realize I'm like, man, the AI database has so much of my facial data.
Faces. They know us better than we know us.
The new AI robots,
like AI, like
all the time.
Yeah, we get
every day.
We get thrown into AI a lot, and it's one of those things. I'm like, I wonder where like this is going. Like
the first transhumanism stuff that's gonna come out, it'll just be like Eric's face, probably in like mine. But yeah, so
yeah, I guess like a funny fan speculation thing is one of my best friends, Jeff Violet. He works in the space too, and him and I have been best friends for 13 plus years, and so like we're like extremely close, like bros, and so then they're like, I wonder if it's like no, we're bros.
Like we still like women and friends,
and then we'll play into it, and then he'll be like, oh yeah, we've slept together, and then I'm like, dude, we slept in the same bed. That doesn't mean we, you know, it's like so funny things like that.
I've had responses like that about Grace and I.
Yeah, exactly.
We're just like so close.
Because you're just homies, you know? And it's like you're just so close that it's like they are your your family really does become like the people you're closest connected to in the space.
But the fan base, I don't know, you know, I can't really compare to other fan bases, but they're so fun because they are so like involved and like all this like, I don't know, stuff on the internet. Like I have a whole Sim family in Sim Ranch where I'm like married to a hot cowboy and I have a golden retriever and like this beautiful daughter.
Like a nice life.
Literally, it's amazing. And I get updates on her life and I'm like, love it.
That's awesome.
She's like, I'm calling in your cowboy girl. I'm like, please, thank you. Keep doing it. Like I have like literally like women just interceding for me like that I've never met. They're awesome.
Yeah.
So it's really fun.
Like I'm not sure if you've experienced this, but one of the craziest things is the amount of like fake accounts that get made for you, like fake accounts or people pretending to be your manager or your agent or whatever. I'm not even exaggerating. 5 to 10 accounts a day, new ones for me.
Eric.
And my fandom, like all of them report them. They will like screw with them. They'll literally screw with them. They'll be like, oh, you know Eric, like, oh, I love Eric, like you can get me connected, you know, and they will like will play with them like back, and it's so funny.
No, your fan base is so loyal. They're awesome.
They're so awesome at that.
That's good to hear because I feel like it's definitely like 50-50 with that, but it's, everything I've heard is like good things.
Yeah,
it's good
they're
things.
Cool.
Yeah.
They're cool. Those women, they
just care. Like it's really cool. They just want you to just support you. It's like
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. So.
Love them.
Shout out
fandom. Them. How do the Gen Zers do it, like this or something like that?
As if I know, is that the violin thing?
I don't know. Oh, this is the world's smallest violin, but isn't this like a thing?
What does this mean?
Am I crazy?
I feel so better.
I
need to get on the TikTok. Though I had to make a quick TikTok.
TikTok.
When we did our little challenge.
Yeah.
And I got like instantly 100 followers of just Eric fans, and I'm like, cool, my TikTok.
And I'm not even TikTok-y. Like I don't even know like how.
I don't even know how to get on it. It was also such a creepy story. Like I didn't know. I have a friend who has a daughter, and I didn't know how TikTok works, guys. That I got on TikTok for the first time when we made it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna like. They were telling me about it, so I looked her up, and then she tells her dad, she's like, is your friend Kelsey on TikTok? Like I saw she looked at my page, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't know TikTok tells you when you creep on somebody.
It tells you when you creep in.
It tells you. So in case you didn't know, it tells you.
In case you didn't know.
PSA.
So anyway,
there is like a feature you can turn that off, but yeah.
Oh, will you do it on my phone? I don't know how to do it. Aaron.
I'm gonna give Kelsey the ability to creep on everyone's page.
So verticals in the last couple of years have like exploded in popularity. Where do you see that headed? Like, do you think we're gonna see like higher budget productions, bigger productions, like full length kind of, I know they're like technically full length feature scripts, but like even longer.
Yes.
Yeah.
1,000% yes.
Yeah.
Like I can speak for the projects that I'm connected to and the ones that I'm developing. The stories are getting so good. The storylines are building out of that typical vertical trope land. They still fall like off like a tree branch, you know, like from the original verticals, but the budgets are slightly increasing because people want quality. Like quality quantity thing is such a thing, and like quality will trump everything in this space. Like you need to have quality. So I think that coming soon, like it's going to only continue to get bigger and better.
Yeah, I think too what's coming from that is it's been interesting to watch the fans mobilize and create these like proper accounts where they're doing reviews, like Jen from Vertical Drama
Oh
Love.
my gosh, I love those.
It's so funny. Like it's amazing how she just created that, and then it's becoming such a prominent, you know, piece of resource in this space because she's actually doing like sharing honesty from people that you don't usually hear about. Because I think a lot of these companies will just want to pump out the same tropes over and over. Yeah. And then they're able to come on and be like, actually, we're tired of this. We're tired of the slapping. We're tired of, you know, we want real stories. We still want them to be uplifting. I think that's one thing about the vertical space and why they're so popular in the same way that Hallmarks traditionally were, is because there's a happy ending. Yeah. Like so much of media in Hollywood right now, which is, you know, they're tough stories. And I think the escapism of verticals is what makes them so popular. So I do think sticking to that is an important thing, because I think these people that watch these want just to be able to escape, but in like a positive way from the troubles of their life right now. But they really are wanting them to evolve. And I think that those like really tropey ones served a purpose for a while, but I really believe that the fan base is wanting to see evolved stories in that way. And so I'm hoping and thinking that they are going to be
I think they have been, you know,
evolving.
I said this last time, but like it's just incredible to see like from when I first started to now and how how much better things have been getting in terms of like literally every aspect of making them.
100%. Me too. It's like when you were on the ground floor in the early days, you look at like just so how different. You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It was wild what we see.
Yeah. It's like I think that's also what ties the vertical community like together, is like the people who have been here from the start. Like we went through the times where Crafty was just a box of chips, and
sometimes it's still like that. Speak for yourself, Aaron.
Right? You know, and they didn't have water on set and things like that. You know, it's
but
like,
not when you're working with Avid from Puppy Love. He is the food master.
Not when you're working with the good teams. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things where I think it's only going to continue to get better, but we still don't really know where all of this is going.
Yeah.
I know it's really interesting to think about.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys both want to continue working on verticals, or like what other types of projects would you want to dive into?
So yeah, I mean, obviously all of us want to be on a big screen. We want to be in a theater. We want to be on something that's on your television set.
Or even just the horizontal medium. It's a different form of storytelling.
It just feels different. I mean, just honestly, our eyes see like this. We see horizontal. So I think that style of storytelling is still a big part of it. On the verticals though, I'm fully committed to continuing with them and building it to be the best like it can be for the industry, because I do think eventually like this type of storytelling can be told this way with the same like speed and everything. We just need to flip our phone to the side or watch it on a TV screen. You know,
there's this it's interesting because it's like but since the evolution of smartphones, we've all been saying just flip your phone to the side, but who's ever actually done that? And I think that's the issue, and I think that's why verticals has happened, because it's like no one will just turn their phone over, you know. And we didn't thank Instagram for that and TikTok. But who knows? Like it might be something where I've seen some companies like Galatea and maybe Dramapop where they're starting to film them both, like Open Gate, and so they'll have the 9:16 cut, and then they'll have the traditional horizontal cut, and then maybe one's put out on Tubi or Hulu, and then one's on their vertical platform.
Exactly.
So I think that would be a wise investment for companies, because
really
you have
cool.
two distribution centers. You have two forms of like ways of
getting it out there. I did one for Pocket FM that was a really good budget, and they shot it in all formats
YouTube,
and they put it on YouTube. And you know, it's like, I think that and it's not, it is more too light, because the main thing is then people go, well, why wouldn't you do it? The speed. So you need to be able to, if you just need to address this, or you need to address all of this.
Shooting something Open Date is like you basically are just filming horizontal, and then you're just
exactly.
sitting in
And then you fit in the 9x16s.
Yeah.
But so I think that it'll be more of a thing. It does obviously require a little bit higher budget and more time.
Exactly. And which is why I feel like this space hasn't really done yet or had yet. It's the time it would take. They would have to slow down. And,
you can't do 20 pages a day that way. You're going to fail.
And the budgets would need to increase. So we'll see what happens with that. And
I know that we're trying. I can say that I'm trying to do that, and the ones that I'm producing, I'm trying to do that. So it's just whether or not we can make it happen.
Yeah. It's interesting to see though, guys, like from a year ago, where the space was in just 1 year.
Yeah.
So like, what will 1 year from now be like? I'm so curious.
It's kind of crazy. We live in such fast increments of time that feel like forever.
Yeah.
Like Vert Giving, for example, was 4 months and like 10 days ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Doesn't it feel like it was like years ago?
Yeah. It feels like years is like 1 month when in this time and space. But I feel like the industry in itself, not that I'm like an expert to talk on this, but is like in a bit of a crisis, like traditional Hollywood. And so I think that it's all evolving and no, it's kind of like the Wild West right now, which I think is why verticals are like popping up. So it's like whoever has the idea of how to make this industry work again is who's gonna like win.
How to get people on set.
It's like when music went to streaming, there was a huge crisis in the music industry. Like they didn't know, when Spotify came out, Apple Music, like the traditional ways of making money through music was very different. And so I feel like the same thing is happening in film.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're like in the middle of that, which is pretty interesting.
Well, especially with this space. I mean, I know so many people that were so resistant and kind of shit on verticals when it started, like, and they're like, "Oh, I would never do that," and they're acting,
and now they're trying to get in,
and now they're acting, or they're trying to get in. They're like, "Oh, can you help me?" And I'm like,
you have to be a visionary to like accept. You're like, this is going somewhere. You have to just work and help build it to be something better.
Really down for anything.
Down for anything.
It's also like you're acting. Like as an an actor, the dream is to be able to be booked acting.
And we're full time working on set in our craft. Like I've spent
I've been like full time for 2 years.
What other new actor can say they were on 30 sets in 1 year? Like it's the amount of experience and just like expertise getting to practice in these spaces. I'm so grateful. I'm like so grateful for this industry. So.
Yeah, 100%. Incredibly grateful.
Yeah,
me too.
I love it.
This has been such a fun conversation.
Thanks,
before we wrap it up, just tell people where they can find you and keep up with your upcoming projects.
Okay, so WikiFeet. No.
Shut up.
Yeah, so I have my most of the project that we can plug a couple. The project that I really want to plug is Love and Blood. That is a vampire series that I produced and developed with an amazing team out of Mexico, and that one stars Keira Wisely, Mariah Moss, Mark Ponarelli, Naomi Van Slyke produced it with me. She was my co-producer in that, and then myself, and then a team in Mexico, Dimitri and Tali, and it's a phenomenal series. We actually have a big watch party tonight that we're doing.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, so we're very excited for that, and then our series as well, which is to be titled, but something having to do with masquerades
coming on Dramapop.
On Dramapops, and then you can find me on Instagram at Eric Taylor Guilmette.
Love it. I am on Instagram as well, and not on the TikTok, but sort of on there. As just this Kelsey and Maskell. So find me on Instagram. Would love to be friends. If you like set BTS and horses, and follow me. If you don't follow me. But yeah, lots of fun projects coming. I have one where I was a ballerina, and I've shot in Vancouver recently. Will be coming out soon too, which is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Ballerina girly.
I think ours is slated to come out mid-April, maybe something like that. So yeah, be on the lookout. Let us know, Cinderella and football, if you like either of those things. You're gonna like our show.
I love that. That's our words that we came up with.
I know.
Cinderella and football. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been so amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Vertiverse Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at the Vertiverse, and you can find all of our episodes on Spotify and YouTube.